Sona will be a nice pickup for both.
Corellius, obviously,
Corellius.
that's all he ever does.
Yeah.
Ezreal, no. There's a number of champions on there, kind of predictable.
I think MF by Genja. I call the MF on Genja.
Okay,
Definitely.
well, that's what we think may well happen. Let's see if it does. Get over to Joe and Jason. You can see the teams ready on your screens.
Thanks a lot, Demon. We move on to our final game of the day. Of course, Gambit Gaming taking on Against All Authority. Let's have a look straight into the teams and how they're going to be facing off against one another. Of course, Gambit here starting on the blue side for this one is Darian, Diamond, Alexich, Genja, and Edward.
And for the red side, Freddy122, Virtual, Schleia, Nono, and Corralius.
And as per usual, Nono looking super happy. I mean, it's the same photo, so of course he's looking exactly the same as he saw him in every other head-to-head up until now. But he is generally just a very happy man. We saw that loss yesterday against Copenhagen Wolves. He stood up with a smiley face as though they just destroyed them in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but you know, it's good if you're happy about that. You're happy for other teams. It's a really good mindset to be in.
Well, I think everyone, maybe outside of Against All Authority and Fnatic today, of course, hopefully Enright didn't hear me say that one. It's in there. So, you know, they can be happy for them. I mean, they needed to get off to, they needed a win. And unfortunately for Against All Authority, they were the team that started that off. But I don't think they'll be too unhappy if they can keep things going in the season as they've gone. And, well, to be honest, they've had a good day themselves because they've beaten Evil Geniuses.
Yes, they have, but even with that win, I mean, that confidence boost they just got, last time they met Gambit, they just got destroyed. That might even be as intense as it really should be. I mean, we saw a 3-man push middle out of Gambit and then a 2-man Baron. I mean, they were not scared at all. They were jumping into the enemy team with Kha'Zix. They were not afraid. And, you know, Against Authority, if they're going to win this game, they have to look at that and see where it went wrong. And I mean, we talked about this before. They've been, you know, in our studios till midnight or 1 a.m. just looking at the past matches, talking with each other, trying to really improve. And honestly, they're probably one of the teams that is working the hardest at this point.
Well, let's have a look at the teams a little bit closer here, starting off with Gambit and what they've got to offer. Our key man for this one is Diamond in the jungle. We've seen him, very innovative player. What's he going to bring out today?
Well, he's already brought Nasus out. He let the dogs out, so I don't know what he's going to go for next. He could, you know, bring the bear as well. I mean, his Nasus, he didn't die at all in that last game. It's just such a strong champion. He's always been that type of person to bring new things to the table, and you can never put it past him to do it yet again.
Yeah, certainly a great team Gambit here, and we saw from them early on just how strong they can actually be. But Against All Authority, let's have a look down their team sheet and pick out that key man. This time around, Schleia in the middle lane, going to be going up against a fearsome opponent in the force of Alexich. I mean, this is not an easy game, whichever way you look at it from Against All Authority, but Schleia is certainly going to be one of the more important players in how this game goes down. Yeah, to me, I mean, it's when he's on his game, he really is on. He can play outstanding. We saw some great Orianna play out of him, some great Nidalee play, but he's going up against one of the best in the world, and that's a real challenge for anyone. Well, in week 2, when we saw these two teams play against each other for Gambit, we saw, as you said, that Kha'Zix in there that was just jumping around, just being such a massive pain. Karthus was played in that game as well, which we all know how troublesome Karthus can be in the scheme of things. On the other side, Against All Authority, they played that Kennen in there. They had a Lux in the middle lane. They have the Shen in the jungle. But either way, we are going to be getting here in just a second to Champion Select. You can see there on Corellius' screen that things are about to kick off. And I can tell you the first bans coming out here are Elise for Gambit Gaming, Kale taken out by Against All Authority, and Nidalee banned out by Gambit. And, well, Against All Authority going to respond with that Thresh ban. I mean, we saw Edward. Deserved.
Yeah, well-deserved. As you said yesterday, the Thresh Prince, he's just insanely good at him. And you have to take away that champion. It's just like a Sona previously, which, you know, most teams didn't take away from him, but you knew how good he was with it. Yeah. And they're responding with that. But, you know, Gambit with their last ban, I'm not sure it's going to be anything really targeted here. Just kind of something they don't really want to play against. Yeah, we saw them early on, obviously taking out the Leona and the Caitlyn against Fnatic, and Enrated actually spoke a little bit about that in the downtime when he's like, damn it, why do they have to ban out my Leona? I really wanted to play my Leona, which is not going to be the case this time around, obviously. Vi banned out again, another very sensible one. Xin Zhao as well banned out there by Against All Authority, and again that Shen gets through, and again Gambit say, bam, Shen, that's what we want. No, not even a second thought about it. Why not? They're just so good at split pushing with their daring. We've seen him just so many times just play an amazing Shen in lane. He's been a movable object. And then late game, he just split pushes on you, gets so tanky, builds a Triforce. You really can't do much to stop that at that point. And against Authority, they have to have some sort of plan to respond to that. I mean, they did at least ban out Xin, which has always been a key jungler for Diamond Prox.
Well, that's the thing here. They banned out Vi last Gambit, so it's like you've got Xin Zhao and Shen left. So whoever doesn't get banned is first pick in that between those two from Gambit's side, in my opinion. Let's see what against Authority go for. Really wouldn't surprise me to see Sona coming in first.
Well, I mean, we know Corrales. He plays Sona pretty much 100% of the time, except against the Wolves. He got that got banned out. He played Lulu, but the Bear was available, and Virtual's like, you know what? Go for it. The Prophet Joe Miller.
It wasn't that hard to predict that they were going to pick Sona, though, to be honest, was it?
Oh, actually, that might be a legitimate pick for him.
Well, the thing is, Diamond actually hovered on that Lee Sin earlier on, but ended up not locking it in. Went off for the Nasus instead. But I'd really like to see Diamond playing Lee Sin again. You know, he's not quite as strong these days, but still.
It's like you're watching an action film with him, but it's like the perfect movie where he just doesn't miss a cue. It's so flawless. The flow is amazing on it, but it's going for the dog. And you know what? He's played a fantastic Nasus. I think only 2 times he's played it so far, but each time perfect.
Yeah, and the thing about the Nasus is that Wither is such a massive, massive pain coming in there. You've got his E as well to put down, which removes enemy armor. So if they end up going in there with that Misfortune, it really can play, if you get that down in the right position during a team fight, can really play in their hands. Kha'Zix again going to be picked up this time around by Gambit. That's a scary thought.
Yeah, they have a really strong lineup already off the bat, but against Authority, what do they... Oh, I don't... I actually might want to run that in the main lane or even potentially top, because we talked about Freddy. He's very versatile on any kind of champion he can play. We saw him playing mid early with the Leash. Shlaya can even go top lane. It's just really up to them what they want to choose, but I wouldn't be surprised if they pick up an 80k. Oh, wow. Wow, we haven't seen very many Twisted Fates lately. We've seen Alex actually play an amazing Twisted Fate earlier. We've seen Frog in as well, and he's going to go... If he locks us in, I mean, you're playing a champion where Alex is probably one of the most competent champions he's in.
Yeah, I could see a teleport coming in for that one. Okay. It's actually going to be switched out in the end there to Renekton for that top lane, which, again, Darren has had so much experience on as of late, knows exactly how to play that one. Twisted Fate will be locked in there.
I wouldn't be surprised if against Authority locks in with an Ezreal as their last one, and Gambit, why not go for Misfortune in that bot lane? It's very strong. You can pick your support here. Sona obviously not going to be available for Edward. But I mean, he can play any support, and he can play any support extremely well. He's played Thresh, I believe, like the last 3 games here, even 4. And let's say that Rise might be a little interesting, as we already have a mid lane potentially for Alex. And we haven't seen him play Nunu in a long time. But then again, he's not that strong anymore in these patches.
Yeah, obviously had the duration of the Blood Boil and also the stats that he gives over to you there. There's still hanging on looks, but it is Edward after all, so not even going to bother talking about what Edward hovers over, apart from if it's maybe a Lulu, because that's actually a really possible choice here. Lulu, Misfortune.
And the slows. I mean, you have the Wither like you're talking about earlier, it just destroys an AD carry, and then if you hit the Glitter Lance as well, I mean, even an Ashe on top of that, you're not going to escape that kind of gank.
Yeah, and Ashe coming in there, which is obviously a big champion for Genja. He actually pretty much played only Genja. Only Genja? Oh, well, obviously.
Played only himself.
Played only Ashe in solo queue to get right up there to 2,000 elo, so certainly knows his way around with the Ashe. But let's have a look on the other side then. Against Authority, missing an AD carry at this point. What do we think? Ezreal?
Well, Ezreal, Caitlyn's also available, but she's, attack speed reliant, so it'd be really iffy to go against Nasus, but you can outrange, Genja quite well with that, as long as you can dodge the volleys. But, Nona, for what we know him for being competent, is mostly the Ezreal, it's mostly the Ashe and Misfortune, so I wouldn't necessarily expect that Caitlyn to come out.
Well, let's see then. He's still got a little bit less than 20 seconds to decide on this one. And a Varus pick who, we've been seeing a lot of Varus, and it's been impressive, the play that we've seen from Varus as well. Yeah,
we've seen Yellow P play a really good Varus. We saw the Test play an amazing Varus yesterday. And it's one of those champions that kind of counters the current meta, with the stacking health, you do % health damage, you have nice harass in lane depending on what you level up. And the only really downside to him is you don't really have much of an escape. And if a Nasus comes in at you, you have a cleanse, yes, but once you blow that and your flash is down, you're not going to escape and you're going to die, which is honestly a big problem for him. But he does have a nice beefy front line. He has that Twisted Fate to come down to, prepare for some ganks if he wants. And then in the team fights, he has decent protection, but then again, you're up against a Kha'Zix.
What's the chances of Edward running with Clairvoyance heal this time around?
I honestly say like 50-50. That could be legitimate for him, to be honest. I mean, yeah, he likes to troll, but he also likes to not be serious all the time.
Not be serious. I think that's a good way to describe that one. As we do have a couple of seconds, so we'll keep you informed of any last-second changes here between the two teams, and it will actually be a flash ignite coming out for Edward.
He wants those kills.
Right at the end. Yeah, indeed. So it is going to be Alex in the middle with that Kha'Zix. Obviously, we do have Twisted Fate in there, so he's going to be zipping around the map. You've got Shen on the other side for Gambit to that, which is probably why they've not bothered with going in there with that teleport. Slayer, actually, as Twisted Fate, does have teleport as well, so he's got double the option of moving around, and we also have Virtual's Volibear with Smite teleport.
And there's something that's kind of interesting we've seen with Twisted Fate, the entire LCS in Europe, is that the laning phase has kind of ended so early that he hasn't been able to provide any ganks, in the top or the bottom lane. So we might see Gambit kind of push for that. Then if he ganks, he still has, really good lanes to gank. That's the thing. He has the Renekton in the top lane. He can do a lot of damage. You have that stun. You have the armor shred. You even have the... Oh, he teleports into the mid lane right off the bat. Huh.
Wow.
So he wants to get somewhere really quickly.
Yeah, we've actually got pings going down Twisted Fate. We're locked onto him right now. Let's see what Slayer actually goes for in this one. He's going to be pushed quite far up on the map already, headed through to the corner buff. They're going to get that ward in onto the blue buff already here. That's not going to be spotted by Gambit, so that could be a real surprise for them at the start of this game.
I think he's going to go for a steal. I was thinking maybe a smite steal right off the bat, or if we do see Diamond start towards the red. If he can pull it off, that'd be great, because Nasus, he's a little bit dependent on that blue, just so he can keep using his Spirit Fire to clear the jungle waves quickly, not to mention his Q to stack that up. So it could, hold him back quite a bit, but it's all about how they capitalize on that, because they committed that summoner spell. Yes, using it right off the bat, it's not that long of a cooldown anymore, because when the game actually starts, you're not going to need it until, 5 to 7, 8 minutes in. So it really does show against Authority. They're trying new things.
Yeah, and also the fact that Genja running Ghost Cleanse this time around with Ashe. I mean, an Ashe with Ghost, with the Q on, you don't get away from that kind of thing without burning summoners.
He's been running that, actually, I think, for the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
And then also the Average Blade we've been talking about with... an Ashe with her passive off of E and an Average Blade, you're getting a lot of gold income per every minion killed, but looks like we might potentially see that lane switch happening.
Yeah, we have Ashe Lulu on the top side of the map, which means that NASA's starting here on the bottom side with Diamond. He's got Darian and Alex Ips there to give him a little bit of help right from the start. Same thing over on the other side against All Authority, helping Virtual out, get rid of those wraiths and also the red buff here, which tells me after that early ward that they may well just be crossing over early on.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Since they're saying that AD carry support top lane, they can help out that red so quickly. You're not going to have to be forced to use that smite, as we do see Diamond taking his own red right now. And this is going to be a really explosive start, and I'm really curious to see what... I mean, I said this before, what Against Authorities are really going to do with this, because that's a really big play. And if they can pull it off, I mean... Oh, yes, it is. Look at him. He's teleporting into the home blue, or into the enemy blue.
Cheesy. All good stuff. But that, I mean, these are the kind of things that, these teams wait for that perfect moment when they've practiced some kind of strategy. They're going to wait for, a big clash. And this is definitely it from Against All Authority's side. They are going to take that blue buff away. Their blue buff still stands. NASA's, they've got no idea that blue buff is going to be stolen. Actually, I don't know if Lulu just spotted that there at the end. But NASA's not going to have a blue buff. And they actually left one small lizard. Oh, they left both of them behind here. So he's got to get rid of that. He's not going to have the timing down.
That Bears really got some big paws. That was such a crazy play to them. Starting off
big paws.
Yes, big paws. That's exactly what I said. But that was such a great start out of Against All Authority. Let's see if they can turn that into something else. And in terms of lane switch, it wasn't actually what we thought it was going to be. We see the AD carry support mid lane, and we see the mid lane up top, which TF is going to have a hard time up here. He's already seen him taking quite a bit of damage from this harass.
And there was the volley coming in, already knocked down to half HP. So Slayer got to be a little bit careful about that one. And that blue buff, where's that going to go over? Is Volibear going to take it a second time?
Why not? I mean, you don't have a Twisted Fate there. It could go over to Cross if they really wanted to maintain, harass, and sustain in that lane. But I'm expecting him to take it, get a lot of early levels off of it. We do have Diamond going for an invade onto this top side, and that is a very easy 3-man gank that they can pull off with that Hawk shot revealing anything there. And this might be a dead Slayer.
Yeah, Slayer actually just backing away there. Just check that bush, but Edward's position here, will that give it away? Slayer really waiting for this one to actually happen to him. We see him there going back up in towards that lane. They ping down Corralius. has come up onto this top side, and it would be a 3-on-2 as the volley gonna connect here, and here comes Diamond. Corrales is the easy target from this one. They go straight onto him. He is dead. First blood for Edward, securing the kill there. First blood nonetheless going down, and they might not even be too finished here with this one. Edward tanking up the tower. They're going in towards Slayer. He's gonna take a lot of damage as he flashes away the bear coming in from behind. Diamond gets the kill. Virtual not totally safe as he gets hit there with the volley. They're gonna keep going here. They're not messing around. He comes back under the tower. Lulu gonna tank the hit up once again, but it's Ash that's tanking it from the back, and that is Edward picking up kill number 2 and the double buffs as well.
What a great play to Gambit overall out there. I mean, they knew the AP carry was top lane, so they knew they can go for that early gank, but Edward, I mean, he was the star of that. He kept tanking those turret hits for his team just so they can bounce around and get that double kill, and they secured, I believe, a double buff off of that as well.
Yes. He got the double buff. He's got more CS than Twisted Fate. He's got more kills than anyone else in the game. He's doing well.
And he's sitting on 1,400 gold.
AP in there, son.
Actually, he does. Look at that. Picked up 2 GP10s right off the bat. He's going to have so much money to spend. And we have to look at it as the game progresses. That's not a good position to be in because he's going to have all the extra money for some wards. It's going to give them a lot of map control. And with Shlaya being behind kind of right now, with well, luckily their mid lane is doing pretty good in terms of mid lane. No, I mean, he's actually doing very well against Alex, but they do pull off the lane switch.
Yeah, 38 CS to 27. If we compare the AD carries, we see that the pause number 1 comes in there. Genja actually did pick up that average play as we have been seeing from him. Alex actually just talking to the admins there, so hopefully we get some information fed as to what's happening there. Speaking of fed, on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see Edward. He is...
Yeah.
I mean... The start of it there, he's got 2 kills and an assist. As we said, he's already picked up a bunch of CS. He's got 2 GP10 items rolling in there. He's got wards as well.
Yeah, that was just... that's just ridiculous to start off with. I'm expecting to build like some sort of crazy AP items like you were saying.
Apparently, Alex is actually not feeling too well right now, so I think he's just asking for a little bit of time to have a break from that one. I hear him there in the player microphone just saying that he needs to go to the bathroom to have a little bit of time out. Always a bad time, you know, if you're not feeling well in the middle of the game up on stage there. And you can see the look on his face. Certainly not looking too good at this point, so he's going to get up and have a little bit of a break.
It's understandable to kind of not feel so well because, you know, you're traveling every week from Russia to Cologne, Germany. It really takes a toll on you, you know, physically and mentally to be doing all that and then to be training as well. And not to mention, he has a brand new son, or a brand newborn son.
It's brand new son.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Just came out a little bit wrong. As we see there against All Authority, this has been we talk about dream starts, but this has been the nightmare start for them, I suppose.
I was trying to think of the opposite of that, and you get it right on the nail.
Nightmare. Yeah, the horror start really coming in for them. So we're going to have a little bit of a break here whilst Alex Itch just goes get himself that little break in the toilet, splash some water in his face or whatever. Hopefully he'll be feeling better in just a few moments. But for now, we're going to go over to the analysis desk with Demon, Quick Shot, and Enrated.
Yes. Good to be back. This is an interesting point to talk about because obviously this is the great benefit that we have of you as a pro player here. You know, you can get into situations when you're on stage. I mean, you guys have been on stage across many places around the world. It's actually a tricky environment to be in. And, you know, have you ever had the time where you just thought, I really don't feel good?
Well, always. It's situational.
Always.
It's situational. If there's pressure on you and you don't feel on your top of the health level, you simply, you have problems focusing sometimes, but it's just up to you to solve these problems for yourself because you need to play your A game at certain circumstances. And right now we saw a really crazy dive top lane.
Yeah, well, actually, let's talk about that for a second because we are 5.5 minutes into the game right now. So, you know, we've seen a 3 versus 1 top lane dive, 2 kills going to Edward, 1 of them going to Diamond Prox. At 5 minutes 30 on the clock, he's got a KG's Lucky Pick and a Philosopher's Stone. Your eyes popped out of your head when those 2 items were picked up. Is that the ultimate support dream?
Well, you have to realize that right now the support on the Gambit team has the most gold in the game, plus 2 gold items, which basically means he can buy whatever he wants and he will still get more items and more items and more items. As well as Genja picking up that Cage Sluggy
Everest Blade.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so immediately off the gate, 3 assists, 27 CS on the board, and he picks up the 800 gold GP10 item. I want to see how long it takes to get upgraded, because on his Misfortune he kept it for ages and ages and ages, and on Ashe, the crit's always going to be a benefit, and I want to see if it does get upgraded earlier.
I think he won't upgrade it simply because the passive of Ashe with the E spell stacks up with the Everest Blade, so yeah, it's going to be really a lot of benefit for him, and I think overall right now, I think AA will have a hard time coming back because of this big advantage.
What do you think of the early level 1 play with the 2 teleports quickly?
Well, it didn't really benefit them too much, but simply because these 2 teleports enabled them the blue, it was a really good play of AA.
Okay, well, we are back into the game, so let's get back over to Joe Miller and Jason Kaplan.
Thanks a lot, guys. Really great to hear the insight, as Steven said, from a pro player on this kind of situation, which is just unfortunate, to be honest, the timing of this one, especially when Gambit have started out so nicely in this one, as well as we see the AD carrying supports coming into the middle lane. Edward, of course, is level 4 here, got the double buff, got 2 kills, got 2 GP10 items. He is ready to roll for the rest of this game.
And with those double buffs, he can just harass all day long. The auto attacks. Oh, I should see Gank on the bot lane. Daring might get caught here.
Yeah, he's going to get thrown over there. Virtual actually flipping him, but look at the damage from the tower. What? Wow, he's going to die. What? Why did he stop moving there?
I think he wanted to make sure that Freddy could get the kill without dying himself with the turret, but that might have just been overestimating how much damage he could really take.
Yeah. Definitely. He couldn't take any more than that. But yeah, that was a bit of a weird one there. And let's just take a little bit of a step back here, Jason, because that level 1 start, the 2 teleports, was it even worth it? I mean...
I'm trying to think of the right words, but I mean, ultimately, no. But it doesn't really hurt them so much because the teleports would have been up quick enough before they would actually need them. It was just a lane switch, I think. Just putting TF top against a 1v2, and then getting Dova, and then giving over 3 kills, 2 to Edward, 1 over to Diamond. It just isn't the ideal thing to do. We have teleport coming in mid lane, though.
Yeah, Slayer going to come in. He's going to go through a wall. Genja actually getting locked up here by the Virus Ultimate. Shen going to get involved. They may turn this one around. Let's see. They get the slow down there onto No-No as the volley lands. Edward getting in there. Gets kill number 3. It's a hat-trick for Edward. The Ignite picks it up, and he's like, what more GP10 items can I build right now?
I really want to look over N-rated right now and just see how envious he is. Being on a killing spree as a support, come on. That's just ridiculous. He has total of 2,800 gold. He has 800 in his pocket at this point. He is a very rich man. I want to see what he buys. I mean, is he going to go full AP and just start doing as much damage as possible?
No.
It's Edward we're talking about, though.
He's still not going to do it, though. I mean, with this position, I mean, we heard there from Enrated that he's just going to have such a lead and going to have such a huge advantage when it comes to items, and specifically the amount of wards that they can throw down and the control that gives them. I mean, it's just a really good start, even though if it was 3-0-1 on the Ashe, it might even be a different thing. We see the Sightstone coming out from him now, and just overall, that whole start here from Edward has probably won them this game.
And the thing is, they're ahead in every single lane. I mean, the bot lane is kind of iffy right now, but I mean, just look how tanky Darien is at this point. Freddy has that 1 kill, yeah, but hasn't really been able to convert that into anything just yet. But having, Alex, who was pretty much losing in the mid lane versus No-No, he switched to the top. Now he's pretty much doing extremely well. He has over his counterpart, Twisted Fate, he has that nice CS advantage and that tier to start stacking up so he can harass even more. And as you see, Diamond visiting that top lane, trying to go for a kill on a No-No. He doesn't have flash, but still has a cleanse available if he needs.
He may just need.
I think so, yeah.
If that Wither comes out onto, I mean, that's 2 big slows, actually, that they've got there with the Void Spikes, with that Wither coming in. As they both wait inside of the brush. Corralius and No-No back away. They need everything that they can get at this stage. I mean, No-No does have more farm than the Ashe at this point, but in terms of gold, With that BF sword, it's 2,400 to 2,800 as Diamond is still waiting. Here we go, diving onto Corralius. He is going to be a dead man. He goes straight down. Ulti used by Nono underneath the tower. Alex taking a lot of damage, and there is the kill coming out for Nono, but can he finish off Diamond as well? He's going to chase him down on this one. He's got the blight stacks in there as down at the bottom. Darian in trouble as well as he turns on towards Virtual. There is Renekton coming in. Freddy is going to pick up that kill.
And against Authority, they're getting back into the game right now, but we have the Fed Edward coming up towards the top side. I don't think Nono can really escape this with no summers available.
Lulu looks so cute, but she's so dangerous right now as Nono is in all kinds of trouble, and Edward comes in. 4 kills, 1 assist, puts the ultimate on himself, even though Diamond was taking the damage. I think we found the new meta, Joe. Support AD carries with having Genja with the 4 assists, the 4-0-1 Edward right now. He's really starting to take his KDA and just make it go through the roof. I think that's the plan right now. He's like roaming around, ganking. He's like, oh look, I can go back and buy a load of stuff again. I'm sat on nearly 800 gold.
But he picked up a Sightstone. So he's roaming around, putting wards down. And Cheryl, he's trying to seal it away, trying to hit them and get that splash damage onto it. Fortunately, it didn't work out, but with the Sightstone, he's going to roam around, put some wards down, and go for some more kills. Genja is completely fine in his lane against Schleia, and as long as we don't see Virtual visit.
Yeah, I mean, Schleia is actually the same, is a level, a little bit behind Edward right now in levels. He's got that Ignite, you know, so he can definitely secure those kills going forward as well. Schleia trying to get back that CS. I mean, that 1 versus 2 in the top really hurt him. I mean,
yeah,
to die that early on without really getting anything, any CS at all in the process of it, like, he's so far behind right now. I mean, it's 10 CS to Alex, who's got a kill of his own, got the tier in there, got the brutalizer in there.
See, I think I figured out what happened with that top lane. Schleia was expecting to go 1v1 against Shen, which,
see, look at Edward, he just throws his wards under the tower, he doesn't even care.
Oh, we do actually have potential dive on the bot lane. We'll get back to what I was saying about the top lane in just a second, as Freddy, if you can show that on your screen, he was poising to go in for it. He has that turret very low at this point.
Yeah, turret's low, but Nasus is actually at the backside. Lulu did start to move down towards that bottom side of the map, as well as Darian trying to bait Freddy in to this one. Twisted Fate is going to join in there, but Diamond is there as well. How is this one going to go? Actually, Darian will taunt over on towards Schleia, who's taking a lot of damage. Flash away from Darian. He's got the stun card up. Will that be enough to save him? Yes. Diamond backs away. Darian is gone. Volibear is coming down to the bottom lane as a stun comes in onto Nasus as well. Schleia is still there and actually may get caught up here. Diamond going to get Shen's ulti onto, gets flipped back out, and here comes Edward to mop up the kills maybe. He's going to speed himself up. He's going to get in there. He's got flashing now. There we go. Killing spree. Can he get a double? Gets the knock up on Freddy. Darian steals it away like this true scumbag, and Virtual will get back on towards the tower. That's a 5-0 to Lulu. Got more kills than his entire team combined.
Wow, just wow. I think we need a song of Here Comes Edward kind of thing happening. But in the meantime, we saw Alex. I don't know. I don't know where that was going with that one. It was like Here Comes a Vibe, but Here Comes Edward. I don't know. It had potential. Anyways, but we did have Alex push that top lane. They got that turret down. And what I was trying to say about this whole lane switch that happened, I think Twisted Fate was trying to go against Shen, which he'd be able to farm really well against, and then have Renekton 1v2 in the bot lane. And with that, he'd allowed his AD carry to, out-farm Alex Sich. But it didn't happen, and because his teleport was down, because he used it to get into the mid lane very early to put that ward in blue, he couldn't teleport down to the bot lane, and if he went for it, he would have been so far behind that it wouldn't have mattered. Like, it would have been, it would have mattered. It would have been putting him too far behind.
So at this point, the jungler's behind in CS, mid lane is behind, AD carry is behind, support, I don't even need to talk about that at this point. It's 2,500 gold that separates them. The only one that's actually in the lead right now by 20 CS is Freddy, and he must be feeling the pressure here because he's basically the one that's got to pull something out here for the rest of his team.
Oh, he's trying for it. He's coming into this mid lane. He could potentially get it, but I mean, he ran right by ward just now. And the thing is, Renekton really can't carry the game, I feel. Not against the team that Gambit currently has. One taunt, he's not going to get anywhere. Then you have Edward, who knows what items he's going to have at 20 minutes into the game. At this rate, he'll have, Death Cap, Zonias, and every other support item as well.
Now, look at the vision there. I mean, there are blue wards pretty much over the entire length of the map as Nono actually going to use his cleanse here, puts the ultimate down on towards Edward. He's a high priority target from this one, but Genja is there. Can't quite kill off Nono. Here comes Diamond from the side. Slayer going to pull out the gold card. Will stun Diamond up, but they just can't finish him off.
And in the meantime, Alex is just pushing this top lane. So the pressure they're putting on the mid lane is making Against All Authority react, which is exactly what they need to do, but this top lane is just getting out of hand. 120 CS.
Darren actually chasing down. We are seeing Nasus coming in here as well. Does Diamond have Ghost available? He's already used it actually to get in from this one. There's the Wither. Freddy not getting out of this. Diamond secures the kill.
I think I just heard him say mine as he hit him with that Q right there just to secure it. But Gambit, I mean, they're reading Against Authority like a book here. Diamond's been in every position possible to go for these counter ganks and do an exceptional job at it.
Seems like you see Diamond in the bottom left there on the play cam, just like, this is fun. They're having fun right now, and it's the kind of game where you do have fun. They obviously can't take their eye off the ball. A team like Against All Authority can punish, but they're just so far ahead. 15 minutes in, 10-3 in kills, 24,500 to 19,000 gold. They've not gone for a dragon just yet, but you have to feel that's not too far away as the damage comes in on towards that middle turret. And what next? Kha'Zix is up in the jungle. He's ready to make a move on this one. Lulu and Ashe are both pushing up. The arrow is up available soon. Here's Corellius taking a load of damage. There's the Void Spikes. Finisher coming out from Alex. He just hops away and says, thank you very much. He's now 2-1-0.
I think Edward's a little sad he didn't get an assist right there for some extra gold. But, I mean, Alex pushes the top lane, comes in for the, to the bot or into mid lane to gank. They didn't even have to commit that arrow to it, and they're picking them apart one by one. And Against Authority, it's, you know, you hate to say it as a caster, but there's really not much they can do to get back in this if they keep letting that happen.
Nearly stole a blue with the Glitter Lance there as well. It was just out of range. Diamond is now going to be kicking off the dragon, and he's just going to be doing it all alone. We've seen it from him at level 3 before, so certainly going to be confident enough to do that now. What's he got? He's got the Aegis Ninja Tabi, that Spirit Stone in there. We've got Warmogs on Shen, along with those Ninja Tabi, and that Doran Shield. BF Sword for both Alex and Genja. And Pickaxe in there for Genja as well. Brutalizer, Tia for Alex. Edward, 502. Got that Ruby Sightstone, Kindle Gem, the double GP10 items. He's just flying right now.
Finally, someone in the game has passed him in gold, though. Genja, with his E, with that Average Blade, was able to get a little bit of a lead over him, and they did try to push mid lane. Against All Authority was trying to respawn. They knew that dragon was going to be taken, but they just don't have the damage at this point to do that. We have Freddy heading up towards this top lane to go against Darien, but with that Warmock completed with the Ninja Tabi and that Doran Shield, I'm pretty sure Freddy can't take him one-on-one anymore.
So, Jason, here's the million-dollar question. How can Against All Authority get back into this game?
Well, we've heard Cripple mention it before. You need to unplug someone's PC, and then you might have that victory in your hands. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, it sounds really harsh, but you know, with a 7,000 gold lead for Gambit, if it comes down to this top side, Darien might be in trouble here.
Yeah, Darien getting stunned up here. He is pretty tanky, but he is going to be able to get some way away from that one as Alex Sich comes in. Actually, he's going to do a lot of damage to Nono. The Ash Arrow is going to miss. Alex goes down as well. That's 2 kills in the matter of seconds for Against All Authority. And as I asked what they need to do, they need to catch them out. They need to hope that Gambit get too big for the boots in this one.
Exactly. If you get, unplugging their PC, as long as you can keep picking them off one by one. I mean, the thing about Shen down there, that's kind of what we expected of Darien, though. He's one of those, players where he gets in that mindset, that tunnel vision of just pushing a lane over and over and not really worrying about where anyone else is. It did take Against Authorities, actually used a lot of ultimates there to kill him. It took a lot of resources out of them. But they are able to get those kills and push this mid turret, so they're starting to claw their way back in. But can they keep doing it?
Well, the flip coming over there on towards Diamond. Here comes Shen. They're looking to get involved with this one. Where's Edward going to be going in for this? Glitter Lance goes down, not actually connecting. And Against All Authority back away. They're heading turrets now. They're 5,500 gold behind, 6 kills behind. We've not quite reached that 20-minute mark. We've actually got a Last Whisper already finished on Freddy as well.
Yeah, a little bit of interesting item for him. I mean, with that armor shred of a Slice and Dice, he's going to be doing quite a bit of damage to any target he can hit. They can get into that backline onto Genja. I mean, it'd be very nice for them if they can pick him off first. But, with Edward, with that Lulu ultimate, with the protection they have, and then letting Alex just roam around and hit your AD carry or your Twisted Fate, you're not really going to survive those head-on-head team fights. So they just need to keep picking them off one by one, like you were mentioning, and then hope for the best.
It's Freddy and Darien having a little bit of an exchange. Nothing going to be dangerous for either of them at this stage with that Warmogs in there. I mean, Freddy probably fancies his chances right now when that ultimate is available for him. Especially if he can have that ignite running as well as Twisted Fate is starting to come up. Here we go. Destiny started off. Darian going to get stunned up underneath his own turret. No-No's there as well. Completely through the hail of arrows across the other side.
It's a smart play.
Yeah.
He was trying to stop the taunt, from getting over there to slow him down so they can catch him.
And they get the turret. 2 turrets in the matter of a couple of moments. 4 against Authority, then 3-1 up. That's going to be 3-2 though here in a second as Genja and Edward take the outer turret. And now Alex Ich diving in, takes half of No-No's health away, gets stunned up. Actually, the cleanse used there by No-No. Alex has to back away, but Virtual is all on his own. This one's not over. Against Authority, coming back in. Slice and Dice goes through. Alex going to get stunned up, and there is the kill for Freddy.
In the meantime, though, we have the bot lane of Gambit pushing up. This turret will be going down for them, getting them that extra map control, extra gold coming in. And against Authority, they're playing well right now. They're picking up these kills, but it might just be too late, because if they can't deal with Ashe, they haven't had a head-on-head team fight. They can't win a head-on-head team fight. But with just how fed the AD carry and support is at this point, you can't get to them. You can't deal with Alex Ich right now because you have to blow all your CC onto him. We have Diamond chasing on Virtual. It looks like they will be able to lock this kill up.
Yeah, Virtual is going to have a hard time of getting away, especially as that taunt lands. He flings Shen backwards. The regen is pretty massive for him, but he's not going to escape from it. Just running as far north as quickly as he could. Diamond going to pick that up. He is now 3-0-6 himself.
And we still have that teleport available for Slayer right now if he does want to start going for some split pushing. And that's kind of an interesting point, is should they go for split pushing at this stage in the game? They're so far behind. They kind of need Slayer there. Like, they need all the CC they can possibly get to lock them down.
Well, he is going to be there. I mean, he's got that teleport, he's got Destiny, he's got 2 options available. He can teleport somewhere to split push and then Destiny back straight in. So he's got the options available to him. It's just the case of whether they can really afford to do anything there. Alex is going to be going down onto Twisted Fate in this bottom lane. Is he going to go aggressive onto him? Yes, he is. He actually dives in there. Stun card pulled by Slayer. That's enough to stop Alex going in.
Edward holding the lane by himself, trying to pick up even more CS, sitting at 28 in the top lane. Though we have a head-to-head going on, but I'm not really sure who will actually win this.
Yeah, Darian seemed to be quite keen on getting involved on it. Ultimate running for Freddy. There is the taunt coming down. Can Darian finish off this kill? Needs to be careful, but he does have Nasus coming into this top lane as well to help him out there. Ninja Tabi obviously on Diamond. Edward is going to be coming in there as well. They're going to look to completely pin him in to this top area. And he's actually going to head down here towards Edward, get slowed up by that Glitter Lance. Edward just hanging off in the back, obviously to secure that kill right at the end. As the Ignite does go down, it's Darian that picks it up. He's now 3-4-4.
And with that kill, they can go for a Baron right now if they want to. They do have, against Authority, going for that push in the mid lane, but with the tower being down, with them not having the tankiness they need or the damage they need, they can't really afford to go for that second turret or the wards. I mean, that really is a big factor in this. They don't have the vision around the map to go for a push like that. All they really have is, Schleier's ultimate, but if they commit to that, which he's been doing this whole time, is for these ganks.
Now we see item-wise, Edward got that Locket of the Iron Solari picked up. Going for those Boots of Lucidity as well. Alex got his Bloodthirster done on top of the Brutalizer. And that tier over on the other side. Zhonya's is finished for Twisted Fate. Locket on Volibear. As I said earlier on about the Last Whisper, also moving up towards the Sunfire Cape is Freddy at this point. Chalice, Ruby Crystal, and the Ruby Sightstone for Coralius Dragon is available. And as was the case last time, Diamond going to start it off on his own.
I do have to say, though, Edward actually has more gold than everyone on against Authority still at this point. Even with the 4 kills on Freddy and the 153 CS, he's still above him by about 200. And against Authority, I mean, they have the ward down, but they know they can't fight it. We do have Twisted Fate potentially going for a gank in this top lane as he's just waiting in that bush, but can Freddy stop Darian from backing?
Here we go. We are going to see Coralius actually putting down the crescendo. No-No's going to drop here. It's Ashe that picks up the kill. Coralius not going to escape this one either. And it is going to be Kha'Zix that jumps in there, gets that one for them. That's 2 kills in the middle lane. Edward actually going up into the top side of the jungle there, getting his wards down. And overall, Gambit are just flying. I mean, they've been caught out a few times here, but a team of their class, they might give a few kills away, but you just can't see them losing a lead like this.
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, we're 23 minutes in. We have the Infinity's Edge, Phantom Nets are done for Ashe already, and the pickaxe for the Last Whisper coming eventually. We even have Diamond going out of the norm of his usual Nasus build, going for a Spirit of the Elder Lizard, just because he can. Because they're that far ahead, why not do that extra damage?
Why not, indeed? Against all Authority, headed into the jungle of Gambit at this point. Twin Shadows now being picked up by Lulu, as if the glitter lancer's not enough.
Yeah, if you don't have enough slow and the cooldown reduction you currently have, use that to kind of, be the bridge between your glitter lances. And you're not going to move at all. You might as well just stand there and die.
The ghost out there is actually down in the bottom lane. Alex Ich was face to face with Slayer there for a little while, but decides not to go in. Phantom Dancer is now done with the Infinity Edges. Alex Ich is going to dive in here. Needs to pull that stun card out quickly. There we go. But Alex is not phased by that whatsoever. Void Spike's actually going to land. Slayer has got the gold card pulled again. He's actually going to Destiny away. Void Spike's coming just a second too late.
Amazing job by him right there to pop his ultimate just so Alex couldn't stealth up, land the gold card, and getting away. But that just shows how much damage Alex does, even with those 3 deaths. That Bloodthirster, the Brutalizer, he's just unstoppable at this point. Even with, Ashe following up the damage, even not Genja, even Edward has a lot of damage behind him. And then, of course, Diamond Prox, with the items he has, with his score, and with that plus 192 on his Q already, that's just a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's a real problem for Against All Authority. If they can't catch them in singles, then I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do much in this, as we see the wild cards coming out. Gambit quite happy to sit here, tank up a couple of hits between them on this turret, as Alex was actually pushing there. He's just going to evolve himself up right on the steps to add a bit of insult to injury. But they keep waiting in middle. Against All Authority have all 5 men there behind that inner turret, but with this next wave of minions, I mean, Genja with that Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer just takes everything so quickly.
Yeah, and against Authority, they have to let this turret go unless they get some sort of amazing engage. It does have the Zonias, so we could see a Messiah play out of him, I'll call it for now, where you ulti into the middle of the team, pop the Zonias right after, so they all just crowd around you, but he doesn't have the backup at this point. We still have the 2 teleports available, but where are you going to go at this point? You have to defend your base.
Yeah, they have to. Inner turret on the top lane is the last inner turret available for the taking here for Gambit, as we see Diamond pushing the bottom lane out. Genja just taking away all the jungle on the Against All Authority side. Actually, they've got minions pushing down the top lane, Gambit, so they'll want to get that one pushing up as well, but once that kind of pattern of the waves going through and through and through, I'm not sure that this is going to take too long before Against All Authority can actually finish off, as Diamond puts a ward down there right on top of Freddy. Darian taking damage as well, but he hardly dents him at this point. Sunfire Cape, Warmogs, he's too tanky.
I mean, luckily for Against Authority, they have bars. So, yeah, you need the Last Wish to do a lot of damage to a target like that, but at least you have the % health damage out of him. So that's a nice sign for them, as long as he can keep, farming up and getting the items he's going to need. He almost has an Infinity's Edge done, and that average blade only at 267 gold. So, I mean, they still have a chance, but it's up to Gambit to pretty much give it to him.
Yeah, and let's not forget, we've seen Gambit with a big gold lead before.
Yeah.
Against Evil Geniuses. Well, that's a team that's been together for so long, have such great coordination, and have great wave clearing, the setup that they had right there with that one. I mean, Twisted Fate can obviously get rid of the waves coming in, but can they hold against this comp that Gambit have got going on?
Well, we did see Against Authority beat EG earlier today.
That's true.
So anything could happen. We do have Freddy. I mean, he's... The whole plan of what they have to do right now is they need Freddy to get into the backline onto Genja. The problem is, if he does that, what's stopping Alex, what's stopping Diamond and Darian just from going into your backline? You have to protect Shlea. He has his Zonias, yes, but doesn't have a lot of damage on top of that at this point. And then, of course, No. He does a lot of damage, but he's so squishy at this point.
That actually turned out pretty nice, as Darian goes in for the taunt to Slayer. He actually ulted right next to him, as we are going to see the Ash Arrow coming through. It does line on towards Slayer. Can they follow up with this one? Varus ulti misses everyone completely there in that fight, as No starts to push out. And in the meantime, it was all just about wasting time, because the Baron has been started here by Diamond and Alex. Edward going to join in there as well. He's got himself an Oracle. He's got that much money, he can just put 2 on him right now, and he doesn't even care about it. And there is the Baron finished off for Gambit, 51,000 to 37,000. They are... I've used it far too many times, and it kind of fits into Alex. They're flying.
They're flying. Okay, yeah. Kazak's flying in. I mean, with this Baron... I mean, as a commentator, you're not supposed to say the game's over, but with a Baroned up team that's that far ahead...
No, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, thank you. I don't want to be the only one to say it, but I mean, it pretty much is at this point. It'd take a huge mess up out of Gambit's part to really get Against Authority back in this game.
Well, they still have to close this game out, and against all authority, certainly aren't going to give it up without a fight, that's for sure.
And a dance, clearly. As you're seeing Nono spam that.
Yeah, he's probably smiling still right
Yeah,
now at
he
this
probably
point,
is.
despite being incredibly far behind in this game, as we are going to see them moving on towards that inhibitor turret. Freddy coming in. Here comes the teleport onto the turret. It's going to be Volibear coming out with the home guard boots on. Where's he going? Straight into the back there for Genja as as Edward puts the ultimate on himself. They've taken out Virtual. Alexic still alive. Double kill for Ash. There's Kha'Zix coming in. Slayer going to pop the Zhonya's. That's only going to delay the inevitable, as actually Varus did end up getting the kill in the end. Alex jumps in. That will be an ace for Gambit. They're going to take down this inhibitor turret while they're there. Obviously, Baron regen going to be more than enough to see them through from this one. There's a 30-second spawn time, and there is the surrender coming out for Against All Authority, and Gambit Gaming turn up and do the job.